Presented by PrizePicks. Get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 and you use the promo code Welcome to Light Years. Andy, trade deadline week, we've been hyped for this mostly because, I think the only take every Warrior fan agrees on is this roster needs to be shaken up. We all have different ideas of how, but we all are kind of in the same standpoint of it's time for a change. And, the trade deadline is what it is. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was expecting a super meh trade deadline. Jimmy Butler, probably the biggest name moved. And Saturday night, the Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis trade. Tell me what you thought when you first saw that.
By far the most shocking trade we'll ever. I was getting ready for bed at 8:00. I know you were too. I think maybe
I was asleep.
Actually, might have been asleep. That's what it was because you didn't respond for 30 minutes. I was like, dude, where the fuck is Sam? And I ended up not sleeping until like 2 a.m. because I was so fired up. Just the most shocking thing. The last time I was this shocked was like randomly the Clippers traded everything for Paul George so that Kawhi would come along, and we all thought it was fake, right? That was the big thing coming out of it. That was the number one thing. I was hoping it was fake. That's what it was. I was praying that it was fake.
Yeah, this one for me was like it's not. So it is a dumb trade, whatever. But the fact that we didn't get a single rumor about Luka once, usually these things go through, particularly with actual superstars, they go through the whole ooh, is he gonna resign? Ooh, does he want to leave? Yeah, we've been through this 6 times with Braun, all right. It's just out of the blue, they trade Luka, the entire franchise. So yes, you are correct. I did fall asleep on the couch watching TV. That's where my life's at these days, guys.
I was ready to go to bed.
My son is a menace. He's not been sleeping well, so it throws off my evenings. So I do like the old man dad thing where I'm on the couch watching something and I wake up. I'm like, oh, it's 9:50. I didn't even realize that sort of thing. And I look at my phone and I thought I was hallucinating. I thought I was because I was already half groggy. I didn't know what was going on, and like you, it gave me a shot of adrenaline in a way I hadn't felt in a while. And next thing you know, I can't stop scrolling my phone till after midnight, which paying for today because that didn't stop him from waking me up at 5:30. But those are my problems, not yours.
He doesn't care about Luka. This is actually one of those things where it's people that don't care about the NBA. I looked over at my wife who was half asleep, and I was like, "Hey, Luka got traded," and she's like, "What?" And I'm like, yeah, to the Lakers for AD. She's like, why the fuck would they do that? And I'm like, well, yeah, it's a good question.
Risa gets it. It's a
good question. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
I think it's did you see the press conference stuff today? Also, I'm assuming everyone listening to this has probably listened to 3 pods talking about it already. So you don't need us to repeat what you've heard. And I assume everyone's seen kind of the clips, whether it's, 30-second one on your phone or you watch the whole thing. What were your thoughts on that? The Nico Harrison, I don't think anyone really thought much of him unless you're a Mavs fan. And now he's just universally regarded as who is this bumbling buffoon?
Bumbling buffoon is fire. I actually thought before the trade last night, I actually thought this is a really good GM. He figured out he gambled on Kyrie. He got him next to Luka. Then he made 2 big trades, right? Big midseason trades last year for PG Washington, Daniel Gafford. They make the NBA Finals. And then this offseason, he did some interesting stuff. They lost Derek Jones Jr., but they got a couple other guys. And I thought, Sam, if they got healthy, and obviously they got Clay, but I thought if they got healthy this season, that they would be the number one contender against Denver and OKC for the Western Conference Finals. So I was like, Nico Harrison, this guy's got to be good. But the press conference made it seem, or at least he tried to make us think that it was a unilateral decision, that he was the one that was all in on making this trade. And I don't know if it's true or not. I'm going to listen to you here talk about it, but it just it boggles the mind how this guy is the one sitting there
People are doing deep digging. People remember that he was the guy who messed up the Nike presentation for Steph. His name is in the mud right now. I'll put it that way. Obviously, you get to his position, you clearly had to have done something to, at one point, impress people to move up the ladder.
Sure.
My big thought watching the press conference was, to your point, he was so steadfast on how unilateral it was, and the tone was, it wasn't happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you just swung a deal you think is going to change your franchise, you're walking in there with a smile, right? Like you feel good about yourself. And he had the vibe of someone who is doing someone else's bidding to me. You ever had to like go tell a client you can't do something and it's your job and you got to do it, but it wasn't your decision. Right. You're not necessarily thrilled with the decision, but you got to be the one who does it. That's how it comes to me. Like, I'm in full conspiracy theory mode. I'm like, it started with, is their new ownership just kind of idiotic? Like, they're like, oh, Luka's out of shape. We can't pay him. It's like, brother, his out of shape ass got you to the finals last year. He's always been out of shape, and he's been a top 5 player since he was like a teenager. Like, I get it. It would be better if he was in shape. They might actually win a title if he got into shape. If he committed to getting into shape the way Jokic did, I think he would for sure win a title, right?
Yep.
But you just don't throw away that level of talent. It's so hard to find guys who are actually good enough to be the best player on a contender. I think the number one thing every Warriors fan would tell you with the whole dumb 2 timeline thing is like, having a high pick doesn't guarantee you that you can get the next Steph or you get the next Luka, So to me, it's like I'm in deep conspiracy theory. Like, did the league force this on them? Is the league like, our ratings are down? We need to get them to the Lakers. That will sell internationally. I don't care. We're doing it. We'll help you get that casino in Dallas. You get rid of Luka. You get the trade done. We'll help you get your business ventures off the ground. Like, that's how illogical the move felt to me, that I'm in like YouTube, like conspiracy theory, like what really was the JFK assassination about type of stuff. Because it like does not make sense to me.
I've never seen you speak like this. That's the one thing I've got an issue with that is I could see David Stern doing it. I cannot see Adam Silver having the stones to pull off a move something like this and telling someone that they have to do. I can't see it. I thought the conspiracy theory you were going to go with was, I just thought the owners are cheap or something. I thought maybe they're just like, hey, we don't want to pay them.
That's just boring. That's just boring baseball shit.
That's every ownership, right? That's just.
That's honestly probably like, if Vegas was taking bets on it, that's definitely like the most likely scenario. The most likely scenario is the one that no one wants to hear. Owners got like cold, what was the expression, like, they get cold feet about paying Luka and told their GM to do something about it. But no, I'm going deeper. Yes, release the texts. That's what we need. We need the secret. We need the secret info here.
It blows up my mind that we're also, the other thing with this is, along with the all the normal takes that everyone is going with, is in today's day and age, I can't tell what's true or what's not when these reports and articles come out. Like, we're getting told, Sam, that LeBron didn't know about it. I don't believe that. We're getting told that like Luka maybe didn't know about it. Sam, I don't believe that either. You know what I mean? Like, Luka never wanted out. I don't know if I believe that at all. You know what I mean? Like, AD, like, I don't believe any of these reports, quote unquote, that are coming out. And I think that's the most fascinating part of this whole entire story is we'll just never. I don't think we'll ever know what truly happened and why this trade had to happen. I think it's probably everyone combined. Maybe even the one that you're talking about. Maybe they just the NBA looked at it and said, you know what, LeBron's gone in 2 years. If the Lakers are gonna have AD,
not just LeBron, Steph, and KD are all gone in the next, like, let's call it 4 years, 3 years.
And they're like, we're fucked. We can't have Austin Reeves be the face of the Los Angeles Lakers And this is the NBA. This can't happen. We might have 5 million people watching a
Dolphin
game.
Connect running split cuts. I think the kid can shoot. I'll give him that.
Austin Reeves really good too. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like my goodness. So that's the thing with the Lakers. It's good living being the Lakers, man. Like, because end of the day, like, what did the Lakers really do? What did they really like from the stuff? What did they really do?
They just didn't trade for Bradley Beal and his no trade clause. Like, literally, they just sat around. They're like, yeah, something's going to eventually fall. Let's just not do anything too dumb, and something will fall into our laps.
It's what the Warriors want. It's what the Warriors think they can, like, is going to happen to them. They think it's like, if we
that is actually exactly what they think is going to happen. It's like, we just stand pat, and Anthony Edwards going to, Minnesota's going to call us and be like, Kuminga in a first. Done.
Not happening, dude. You know what I mean? It's like it's why they're the Los Angeles. It's why they've been good my entire freaking life. It's why they had, Magic before I was born, Kobe and Shaq when I was growing up, and then, and then LeBron now, and then they'll have Luka as I go into my 40s. Luka will be on the Lakers. He'll win a championship or two in the next 10 years. You know what I mean? They're just it's the Lakers, man.
They're going to be able to be number one on the next disgruntled star, because the next disgruntled star is going to be like, well, Luka's already there long term and he's 26. So I know I'm teaming up with a guy for the next 6-7 years. Like, it's a good deal. Like, now the Warriors have to deal with the struggles of, man, I love Steph, but, he's getting older. Is this where I want to be? Which is why they should have made a move 3 years ago before this kid. But that's a different, we've had that conversation.
If you want to, kind of Warriors related a little bit, they did do something interesting. I mean, they traded all the young kids, and this is years ago, right? They traded Lonzo, they traded Ingram, who's I guess like their version of Kuminga, in that trade for
gun to your head. Does Kuminga have a better career than Brandon Ingram?
No, of course. I don't even like Brandon.
I know you hate Ingram. I know you hate Ingram though. So it's like I know it's not like I'm asking. It's like, is Kuminga going to be better than who's like one of your favorite players, like Klay Thompson?
No, that's the thing. Ingram's actually really good in the NBA. It's the sad part. But they traded all of them for Anthony Davis. But also you could say, well, LeBron went to LA because it's LA. Anthony Davis went to LA because of LeBron and it's LA. And then now Luka is going to get traded for AD because the Lakers had AD, so they can move him for Luka. But at the end, like, how could the Warriors have really done anything close to that, though, right? There's not much you can do that outside of people wanting to come to San Francisco, but that nobody does that. Nobody wants to come to Dallas. Nobody wants to come to San Antonio. Nobody wants to come to any of these cities except for LA. Really, that's it.
You guys following the news? The doom loop's real. No one wants to come to San Francisco. Andy and I are living in 2019. Tech bubble's still going strong. Just Patagonia vest and
good
happy
old
hour.
Days, dude. Don't remind me. They're good old days, man. I miss those every day.
Hey, I think we're in for a comeback. We got the All-Star game coming in a couple of weeks. It's gonna be a good time. You guys are around San Francisco, hit me up. We got the Super Bowl next year.
Yes.
Got a little World Cup. I mean, the World Cup's going to like every major city in the U.S., but we're on one of them. We're not so far down on the list. We still get the World Cup. Still top 15 in the country. So, I think we're turning a corner. I think the Bay will be back by 2026. That's my prediction here.
Who's the free agent in 2026?
Unfortunately, it will never be LA. LA never has they weren't back. Yeah. We're like Andrew Wiggins here. We disappear for years at a time and then we're back.
We're back, baby, but it's not LA. It's just some of this stuff is you can't create it. Like even Miami and New York can't do what the Lakers are doing. Like I don't think they did anything amazing. So I just what can you do? Oh, we got Tommy, right?
Tommy's joining us now. He woke up from his nap. Tommy, like a man a man without a child takes naps in the afternoon. Andy and I, men with children, take naps at 8:30 or 9 p.m. on the couch. Sounds by mistake. Nice,
so you said I was ready for 5 o'clock, so I set my.
I know I moved it up. I apologize, but
it's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. So we just talked through it a little bit. We're gonna get to some more interesting stuff, but I want to ask both of you guys this: does this make the West more or less wide open? Like. They did just kind of radically remake the team who went to the finals last year, and Lakers are probably second tier contenders in the West. Like, it would surprise no one if the Lakers with the AD construct ran through the West. Like, those are both legitimate playoff teams. So where does the West look now?
I think it's more wide open. Because I do like the trade for Dallas from the standpoint of they're still going to be a good team. Obviously, they didn't get enough back in assets, like not even close. Like, it's essentially, to make another LA comparison, it's essentially like when the Dodgers got Mookie Betts for like Alex Verdugo.
You're gone.
But that's what it feels like in terms of what was given up, right? Like the Mavs should still be a good team, but they really don't have a number one option now. Like Kyrie and AD are both great number twos. Neither guy is a true number one option on a title contender, in my opinion. So yeah, the West is even more wide open. OKC should be the happiest team in the league right now.
Yes,
they
should.
Yeah, OKC and Denver. Oh. Like the West just got so much easier. It's really now those two in the West and then everybody else.
I agree. OKC, Dallas was gonna, in my opinion, they were gonna handle OKC again. And they've got to be ecstatic. Maybe they're kind of pissed because the Mavs didn't call them. Maybe they're like, hey, maybe why didn't you just get 8 picks from us? 8 picks in Jalen Williams. We could have had SGA and Luka. But I'm with you, Tommy. I think this is not a. What's that?
I said Jalen Williams untouchable. Don't go
there. Yeah, but then Nico, too many picks. We don't want picks. We only want one pick. We only want one pick. We don't want all those picks. We don't want to use those picks.
The funniest thing I heard was someone being like, "Do you think he asked for multiple picks?" And the Lakers said no, and he's like, "Okay." I was just like, imagine just like, no, final offer.
Do you think he even asked for multiple? Do you think Pelinka just went, "Oh, you want Anthony Davis and a pick, right?"
That's what I'm.
And Nico Harrison's like, "Wait, fuck, you're right. Should get a pick." He's like, yeah. I'll take a pick.
The whole thing. Like, I'm in pure conspiracy theory mode. Like, last night I was reacting to it, just like shock, like everyone else. Now I'm just like, no, like, sorry, this guy might not be the world's greatest GM, but he can't be this stupid. Like, there's something in play here that we're missing.
It feels like collusion. Like, how are you trading Luka Doncic and you only approach one team? That just from a management standpoint, that's insane. You're not even trying to get the best offer. You're just like, okay, Anthony Davis in a pick. That's fine. It's absolutely mind-blowing that a GM could operate like this.
Maybe Luka has diabetes or something. Like, maybe there's something there that they're just like, no, hey, we'll do this trade, but no doctor, what was it called? Like, no
medical clearance.
No medical clearance. You're taking him as he is. It's good. Maybe he's already
got an awful case of the gout.
Yeah, maybe he's missing his entire ACL, and they're just like, "Hey, you're taking him. Deal with it."
I mean, that's another thing that I think is probably closer than truth than you think, right? They're probably thinking like his Achilles is holding on for dear life. I mean, he's had the same calf injury like 3 times. He's out right now with that calf injury, so they're probably like, he's one slip up away from that tearing. But at the same time, he tears the Achilles. He's back when he's 27. And it's not like his game is predicated on him. Like, he doesn't play defense anyway. Like, it's not like he's Clay. He doesn't play defense anyway. He's gonna come back and he's gonna be the same shift. Like, he's just a big body. That's
if he had to miss a year, I think he'd get up to 350.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, he might. I mean, in LA's got great food. He's hitting up the after parties. Like, he just it's bad. Like, that's the thing. That's the problem. Where it's if he's not in. If he's in, actually, I guess Dallas does great food. They got barbecue, but still,
there's if nothing else, there's heavy food. So
yeah. Where could he have gone? I guess San Francisco.
At least in LA, you could fall into like some sort of like fad diet. You go keto, salads all day. Luka just pounding salads all the time. In fact, we got our guy A Lau here too. You could tell us.
What's the vibe in LA? What's the vibe?
Why didn't the Mavs just get him on body spec? Get him a DEXA scan, start that fitness journey.
You don't want to see that. You don't want to see the body spec for Luka, dude.
You'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised how many organizations don't have this as a part of their thing. I think that the Miami Heat, that Heat culture, man, I think it just keeps people accountable. I think right now, I mean, I've been to freaking Texas a few times, man. That barbecue is amazing. So like, if I was Luka right now, I'd be like, dang, man, I'm gonna get taxed more in California,
Facts.
and I'm gonna have to lose the barbecue, and I gotta hang with like, oh my god, he's like
Yeah,
slow, he's like
he loses
Slovenian,
barbecue, but he makes up what, like 8 different amazing cuisines. Like there's just nowhere near the variety that you're gonna get in LA in
That's
any
true.
other city.
Yep.
Other than like maybe San Francisco or New York.
Dude's
I
eating
mean-
ramen. Dude's eating ramen now every day. I guess if he sticks to sushi, he'll be fine. But like Korean barbecue, I mean that can't be. I mean, come on.
Oh no, that's good, man, dude. I've seen some
That's
people
good
drop
for
some big weight in LA off a crash diet. So Luka Doncic,
Yeah.
you won't be the first.
I think
you won't be the
I think that's
last.
drugs. I think that's drugs. That's not. That's
Oh,
not
man.
yeah. It's,
The drugs, the sunlight. It's the sunlight for sure.
That's what it is. Yeah.
How you
Maybe he
guys,
gets on
man?
Ozempic in LA.
Yeah. We get Ozempic Luka. Is that what's gonna be going on? He's gonna look like skeleton face.
Oh
Super skinny.
man, we don't need that. We don't need that. We already got Wemby, bro. We need more. We need to bring back the big guard.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Oh,
Crazy.
all right.
I barely slept last night, man. This news is crazy.
It is. Yeah, we were talking about it before both of you hopped on. I'm struggling to think of like a notification I've received sports related that's more shocking than this.
It's
In
crazy.
In like the social media age where everything's like notification to your phone, I can't think of a single sports related thing that like made my jaw drop to the floor more.
I got one. Arson Judge. Arson Judge was.
Why, dude?
Oh,
Why? Every podcast we get over under 2.5 Giants mentions, bro.
Arson
It
Judge
hurts
was
me every time.
Whew. Oh man.
You know
It's
what the
rough.
sad part is? You know what the
We're-
sad part is? Even if the Giants had gotten them, they'd still win 83 games. That's the fucking saddest part. Like, it
With
wouldn't-
like
I wouldn't
19
even-
home runs
Yeah, he would hit 19 home runs at AT&T. Like
and
that's
like
that's awesome.
150 strikeouts. Yeah.
Pull his
Alright.
hammy play in the outfield in April. Just blown season. There you go.
There we go, boys. Have a happy Sunday, man.
This reminds me a little bit of, I know Tommy, you mentioned the Mookie Bet stuff, but this is the LA stuff. Like this is the Shohei Ohtani's going to LA, and just now it's bad. Like and Sam mentioned it earlier. This isn't just about Luka going to LA and like, yeah, maybe they don't win this season because it's just a bad fit and he's hurt. But guess who's going to be in LA the next couple? Who's the next 3 upcoming free agents? Name all 3, and one of them is going to be a Laker within the next 3 years. It's just everyone's making Wemby jokes, but it's like, I don't know. Is it
Paulo
going to be
Banchero.
I don't know.
It's
You know,
such a hipster take.
Yeah, it's Paulo Banchero or Tyrese Halliburton for sure. It's bad. It's bad.
All right, let's pay a quick bill, and then I got some questions for you guys.
I got you. Light Years Podcast. We are brought to you by PrizePicks. PrizePicks. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. PrizePicks, best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. So get $50 instantly when you play $5. Use promo code LIGHTYEARS. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100,000 x your cash. PrizePicks giving away a free pick for the big game where Patrick Mahomes will only need to throw 1 yard to win. If you're correct on at least one more stat projection, you win real cash. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with PrizePicks. PrizePicks has weekly promotions that lead up to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up 25% to provide even more value for your lineups. Download the app today. Use code LIGHTYEARS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's $50 instantly when you play your first $5. PrizePicks, run your game.
All right. Oh man, Lau hopped. I wanted his opinion on this. So
said,
the
"I'm going
Warriors
Erewhon."
had a.
Getting that LA salad.
So the Warriors found out about this at a charity poker tournament.
Oh, great.
Which one of you wants to walk me through Joe Lacob's reaction
Great.
to hear this in real time?
Yeah. Do you think he was there? Do you think it was there? Do you think Joey was there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
10
because
blackjack player in
this
the
is
world.
like for all like the big time sponsors. Like you know how it goes. Like you buy a $1 million luxury suite. Obviously, you get all the amenities, and they do like 2 to 3 events a year. You know, one being charity poker, where like Steph will come and say, "Hey, what's up, Jim?" You know, something like that, right? Like that type of thing. So, phone against the wall. You think you just throwing it? Do you think
Why the fuck, Kirk? Did I not know about this?
Do you think he just undressed Kirk in the middle of the room in front of everyone? Like in a way that's just like you feel bad, where you're just like, this is completely unprofessional. Nah, that's just mean.
It's like when in Succession when he's standing on top of the chair, the books and yelling at people and just screaming at them. That's Joe Lacob trying to give a why couldn't I have traded Kuminga in a pick? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. More potential.
It turned on a pour on the floor.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
brutal.
he's just throwing
Brutal.
some sausages, and he's like, Mike, Kent, Larry Harris, only one of you comes back alive. No. I don't know.
Or
I
not.
kind of actually, do you guys give the Warriors a pass for not being in on this? Because like everything they've said is like discipline. We're not going to make a bad deal. When the right thing comes along, we will. There's like very few more right things than getting an opportunity to get Luka Doncic or quite frankly, Anthony Davis too.
I mean, did they even know about it? Did anybody know about it? From what I've read and seen, they only approached the Lakers. Like Nico Harrison only approached Rob Pelinka. So, I mean, maybe Joe got mad about it because they're not like canvassing the league well enough, but I can't blame them specifically on this. It's more just like stop telling me trades are hard. Stop fucking telling me that, because Rob Pelinka has traded for Anthony Davis. He traded for Russell Westbrook, and now he's traded for Luka Doncic. And they're the Lakers. Like, stuff just falls in their lap. I understand all of that. But other teams are constantly doing stuff like this. Do not tell me trades are hard. Stuff is out there. Go figure it out.
Yeah. I think I can't blame them in this specific situation because, Tommy, like this really fell in their lap. What I do blame them for, though, is the Warriors really had no opportunity to make any type of trade. Per the reports, it sounded like the Mavericks did call another team or two. My guess is they called the Bucks, they called the Spurs, and they called the Nuggets, who all told them to fuck off. But maybe if the Warriors had drafted someone with the 2nd pick and 7th pick that was really good, they would have gotten a call. Like if they had drafted the right player at those positions, may they have gotten a call from the Mavericks? Maybe. And what if they had used that player and traded it for a really good player? Could they have gotten a call? That's the only thing, right? And that's to me that process has always been wrong. The Warriors have always done it wrong, so that doesn't change this. But yeah, I mean, like in this particular situation, I don't think anyone's beaten the. I mean, to Sam's point, they had no choice, man.
Yeah,
they're told by Adam to send them to LA. What can you do?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Adam Silver's like, I don't care. Warriors are cute. LA is always important. Doesn't matter. No, I mean, like to your point, like it's more about them kind of this roster just falling apart talent wise. Like there's just not a lot, like we don't say it in those terms as like explicitly. There's just not a lot of talent on this roster.
Yeah.
Steph. He can be washed for the rest of his career and he's still Steph. He's not washed, but you know what I'm saying. But beyond that, it's just not a talent rich roster. I guess, yeah, if you want to move Luka and you don't want to tank, who are you calling? You're calling people who have top 10 to 15 players who you think could be had. And, you know, sorry, it's not Jonathan Kuminga. It's not Draymond Green. It's not Andrew Wiggins. You know, like I'm not even picking on any of them. It's just a matter of fact that they're not guys who would make someone who's giving up Luka like feel the need to call you.
Would Pascal Siakam be at that line? Like, obviously, Anthony Davis
thought about it.
No. Yeah, I don't think so.
Probably not
either. No. Obviously, AD is much, much better. But I do think maybe you're in a position to get a call then. Probably not. Like, they're not trading Luka for Pascal Siakam. He's taking way more picks. But at least you're maybe in the conversation.
I think the point is the next guy. This is a one-off bullshit trade that the Lakers got lucky on. Then and it's actually not one-off because it happens with the Lakers every 10 years. So I shouldn't even say that. This happens every 10 years. So it's not lucky. But what if
The
LeBron,
eighth one-off. Yeah.
yeah, but what if LeBron's available in a couple months? What if KD's available in the offseason? Like, do they want the salary slot? Do they want the salary slot if the Warriors have to all this bullshit, or do they want, to your point, Pascal Siakam? Here's $35 million, easy. He's good, and it's a lot of money, and it matches your contract. Like that's kind of the. Like,
I do kind of agree.
Yeah,
I do kind of agree with your point, which is like prospects are cool, and sometimes they're really cool when you have one, but like ultimately talent trumps all. You know, like the dream scenario is you draft Wemby, where it's talent and they're young and it's a prospect. But ultimately, teams are like having Anthony Davis is more valuable than having the poo-poo platter of they could be anything. You know, even Anthony Davis. So. That's kind of where you're at with the Warriors these days. Hey, you mentioned LeBron. It's interesting.
Oh boy.
By the way, LeBron and Luka, I mean, it'll work because they're both amazing and they can play with anyone, but like it's also a bizarre fit because they play the exact same role on offense.
They're going to give up 140 points a game. Who on that team is playing defense? I mean, it's going to be LeBron doesn't want to play hard. He can't. He's 40 years old, and Luka never plays hard. Like it might be really, really ugly. Who's guarding the ball? Who's protecting the rim? I mean, Jackson Hayes. Like
Vooch is on the way, baby.
Oh,
got Vooch at home here though.
Yeah, they'll be fun. Obviously, like you're going to get two of the best offensive players ever on the same team, but yeah, they're going to have a lot of work to do in the summer. But I mean, on the LeBron point, does this motivate the Warriors to do more at the deadline, thinking that LeBron might be available in the summer?
So let's hear this. So, you know, look, we know the Warriors tried to get LeBron last deadline. I buy that they did, to be clear. I don't know if he was ever really interested, but it was out there. Obviously, you hear that they're getting Luka. They're looking for their LeBron replacement. I don't think this makes the Lakers better in the short term. You wonder if LeBron's now available in a trade. Here's Chris Haynes today.
James will remain a Laker.
Hey, fuck out of here.
Chris Haynes with another Haynes brief for you this morning. League sources inform me that LeBron James intends to remain a member of the Los Angeles Lakers past the February 6th trade deadline. So even though the Lakers were able to pull off one of the biggest trades in recent history by acquiring Luka Doncic and moving AD to Dallas, LeBron James plans to stay with the Lakers. Also, just want to give some background. I was told that the Lakers were very appreciative of the professionalism displayed by Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul and LeBron James. They felt like those two made this process a seamless process.
Reading off a
script. All right, we're stopping here. We're stopping here.
No, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. That was shameless.
Haynes Reeves is shameless. That's a shameless name.
I like the branding. I like
it's
the branding.
so funny.
I think it's cute. Yeah. Chris Haynes is a good dude. I heard he's really good at basketball too, so it's good for him, dude.
But
beside the point,
he's going independent. I like the format. I like what he's doing here. It makes sense. I don't want to watch a 30-minute studio show. You have 2 minutes of info to report to me. You don't need. Yeah, and honestly, of those 2 minutes, a minute 30 of it is you satisfying your sources, letting them know that you take care of them and saying you're very appreciative of Clutch Sports.
Jason Whitlock was right. People don't want to hear it. People don't want to hear it, man. Keep going, Sam. Sorry.
Yeah, my question for you guys is: so this came out this morning. Kind of, it's not what I wanted to see at 8 a.m. Not after I spent all last night making memes of LeBron in a Warriors jersey. I was pretty disappointed about that. Are you buying this? Are you buying this as 100% dead at the deadline, or do you think this is posturing? Maybe unlikely, but not dead.
I think it's dead at the deadline. You even had Wendy.
Tommy, it's enough of you. This is Andy's episode.
Hey, you even had Wendy saying, LeBron has dreamed of playing with Luka Doncic, whatever that means. I think it's definitely a possibility in the summer. And I think that should actually give the Warriors more reason to be active right now, especially if you can get it done without giving up a ton of draft capital. Because then you have a bigger contract to go chase LeBron in a couple months. But I think it's dead at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. What I think is interesting
Fuck
is
both of you. No.
what I think is interesting is I really want to know if LeBron was a part of this. That would be hilarious. And obviously, Chris Haynes will not report that at all, since those are his guys. But no, man, he's for a second though. It kind of like, Bill Simmons said it on his show. He was saying someone texted him, pretty connected. Is LeBron on the way out next?
Well,
Let me ask you this, Sam. Do you really think LeBron didn't know?
I do.
Oh, you believe it? Oh, you do?
This is why I'm in conspiracy theory mode.
Wow.
I buy Clutch had no idea this was going on. I buy Luka had no idea this was going on. I think there's something in play here. Maybe Adam Silver said, I'm not approving the sale of the Mavs to this new team unless you guys move Luka to the Lakers, because we need that for the league. Like, I'm deep in conspiracy theories. I apologize. I'm watching 9/11 videos. It's bad right now. No, I'm just kidding.
The Earth is flat. Next, that's interesting because those are the
but like reports. Jokes aside, I do buy that. I think no one saw this coming, and that's why it's so shocking to me. And I'm sure part of LeBron's like, Luka's better than AD. It's a weird fit, but he's a better player. We can have some fun with this, right? I do buy that, but I don't believe that this was a long thought out thing on his side.
Wow. If that's true, that does imply that LeBron will kind of sit there and be like, well, is it worth it to kind of stay and play with Luka? Which, I think most people would say yes. It's worth it. You put those two guys together and some wing players, some defense, I think you'll be fine. But I don't know. If that's the case, I don't know. Yeah.
I got one other thing to point out. Like, you listen to Laker people talk, and the Laker clutch Cold War has been a thing for a while. They've felt like LeBron forced them to make the Russell Westbrook trade, which obviously didn't work. And it's just been a total power play thing because like no one likes the narrative that you're a puppet for LeBron as an organization. And so I do buy that they were just like, you know what? He's 40. Maybe he's here for 2 more years. Maybe he's not. But we're just making moves for ourselves, right? Like, obviously, you make the Luka move 10 out of 10 times if you're them. But there's no consultation. And I do wonder if just kind of operating as like, you had your chance, LeBron and AD. We're going to go in a different direction. Doesn't open the door to LeBron being like, you know what? Let's see, maybe I should go somewhere else for my last 2 years. Maybe I should go play with Steph. Maybe we should try to get Kevin over here. Maybe we should just try to like do the, geriatric Avengers tour. See if we can do something together. Maybe that all comes into play.
I don't think. Look, Luka isn't a bad consolation prize for having to lose AD if you're LeBron and clutch, But I do think his mind may start to wander even more than it was. Like, eventually, maybe not in the immediate aftermath, because he's probably curious what it would be like to play with Luka, and Luka's not even healthy right now, so we won't even have that opportunity until the trade deadline. But also, I think LeBron is going to he might have already mistrusted the organization, but now he might be like, I might be next. Like, they already moved AD. Maybe they'll move me next.
There is one difference. Control. He has a no trade clause.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Only the greatest of greats. Only LeBron and Bradley Beal have no trade clauses.
That's so crazy, Bradley Beal. But yeah, I think he might just try to maybe take control and at some point. I don't think it's going to happen now, but I could easily see it happening in the summer because of the way everything went down with AD.
Which, Tommy, it goes back to what you said, and I'm going to reiterate it. Makes it more imperative for the Warriors to make a trade so that the expiring contracts of Kevon Looney and GP2 do not go to waste like the expiring contract of Chris Paul did. We say it every show. When I'm not on the show, you guys say it. When I'm on the show, we say it. Every single tweet, we say it. Everyone says it. The Warriors have to take advantage of that. We will find out if they will.
Yeah, they need to. Yeah. I meant to ask both of you guys. So we all know LeBron is a master of narrative crafting. Like, he's not coming to the Warriors unless the story can be spun in a way that doesn't make him look kind of lame,
Desperate,
for like leaving. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what does that look like? What does that look like for LeBron? Like, because to me, part of it is he has to make it seem as if he wants to stay on the Lakers, but they want to move on.
Yeah, like right now the narrative is being crafted where I didn't know. Now the Lakers are they don't care. They're not doing what I wanted. Like that isn't that part of the narrative. Man, I don't know how you do craft one where it's I don't want to play with Luka. Luka is, I mean, he's not healthy right now, and who knows, but 26-year-old Luka is objectively better, especially in the regular season, than 38-year-old Steph, like next season. Like it is like
that. You're off the show too.
Like I don't like it. Kind of crazy. I would love it to happen. You know, I would, but man, I don't know. I can't see it. Can you guys draw it up? I can't.
I mean, I think the spin got easier for sure. Like you said, I didn't know. I don't trust the organization anymore. We've splintered. That they're not doing right by me in terms of like at least doing what I want. But that's still hard to spin because like, okay, they traded one of your best friends, but they got you Luka fucking Doncic,
right? Yeah,
who's younger.
If they salary dumped him for draft picks, it's a different story.
Right. Like he's younger, MVP candidate at top of the league. So, but I mean, it gave them a little window to spin something if they want to, right? Because you can say I won a championship with AD. Luka's still unproven in that sense. It's not an easy spin, but you can get it done now with the way AD got traded.
I think there's only one way to spin this, and it involves our friend in Phoenix. I think, and this is where I'm like, bro, all of this coming together at the same time is like 0.1% likely. But I think, so we know the Phoenix situation is uncomfortable. And we know they're trying to trade Bradley Beal for Jimmy Butler, hoping that, new voice, that will make things different. Like they're trying to rearrange decks on the Titanic, right? And Bradley Beal's like, no, I'm not going to go anywhere I don't want to go because I have no trade clause, which, shout out his agent for getting that done. If KD and LeBron were like, you know what, screw it. Like we're all retiring in a couple of years. We just want to do this thing where we all play together. That takes all the heat off of everyone. It's no longer about them like, ooh, you're going on Steph's team. And now it's more about like the three best players of their generation want to do like the event or like the Expendables, the Avengers, whatever you're going to call it, like the retirement tour together. It doesn't even become at the Warriors anymore. It's just like the Warriors happen to be the beneficiary of being the team who facilitates them doing this, which I think would make all of them feel better because they both have weird relationships with the Warriors for their own reasons, right? And what are the odds that something like that can happen? Like minimal, right? Unlikely, but like to me, that's your case. That's your case. You facilitate Jimmy Butler to the Suns. They send KD to the Warriors because KD's told them, I'm not re-signing, just trade me. Miami gets your poo-poo platter. And then LeBron, forces the Lakers to make a trade. Like your roster is essentially Steph, KD, LeBron, Guy Santos, Quinton Post. I don't even know if you still have Lindy Waters, to be honest. I hope you have Lindy, but I don't know if you have it. Like you have nothing else.
Quinton Post unlocking that 5. It's kind of fire.
I mean, dude, you need a floor space. Nice. He's what LeBron's always wanted out of the 5-man, right? Like
better than Kevin Love. Sam, by the way, you answered your own question about what Joe Lacob was saying last night at the poker tournament. Literally, he went back in the lab and he said, "Boys, wake the fuck up. Put down the alcohol. Actually, or pick it up. This is what I
think that's the only way. It's going to require KD like being so miserable in Phoenix where they're just like,
which he is.
Yeah, but like,
keep going. I'm just
making it so uncomfortable. They're like, motherfucker, fine, just do what you want, like that sort of thing. We'll take Jimmy. Jimmy can try to yell at Bradley Beal and Devin Booker. Honestly, Butler, Beal, Booker, not bad fit. I like the fit. Yeah, chat's saying I'm high. I'm not, to be clear. But and then you're hoping the Lakers want to do it out of, because all the Lakers really care about is being viewed well by stars. So they might actually see some ancillary value to being like, we did right by LeBron, so you can come here. I don't know.
The Warriors don't need both guys, by the way. They just need one.
Like Hopium were sold.
It is great hopium. Like this is Via times a million. It is what this really is. Like this is as
promo
good
code in the description, guys.
This is as good as it gets. I think the Warriors have a good shot at either of them. Sam, you went one step further. Forget the Warriors just getting LeBron or just getting Kevin Durant. Why not all three? It does fit the narrative. And by the way, it would not be the Avengers because they wouldn't be favored to win a championship. Definitely the Expendables, where it's just a bunch of washed guys in a mid-movie. But God damn it, those movies are entertaining. I watch all of those and I watched them twice.
There are washed guys. That's okay.
Yes, sir. Statham still got it. Still got it. Stallone definitely washed. Definitely washed, but it's fun. Look at that picture, man. Look at that.
That is incredible.
By the way, this is my favorite Joe Lacob photo. It's perfect. Look at him there, just
with the trophies in the background.
Yeah.
Joey won him, baby. Joey won.
Was that during the 18-2 start? I think that's when this was the original Joe Lacob photo there. He was
no,
talking,
the photo was during the finals.
This was during the finals?
Joey went on a media tour from when they won the conference finals against the Dallas Mavericks and to the finals, and it was all about how the 2 timeline plans working and we're a machine. And
that's right.
To be honest, if he somehow parlays it into the Expendables tour at the end, we're all going to forget about how miserable we were for 2023 to 2025.
I'll take it all back.
Well, so listen, if the war, I know we'll get to the Warriors and Butler and all those rumors soon, but like if they do end up with one of these guys, God forbid they end up with both of these guys, it does to me like, I mean, it is like, yo, Joe, low-key light years. Like that is what I want to see. Like what I want to see is these guys on the team. Like I don't like again, I don't think they come close to winning a championship, but it's a fun ass second round team.
Maybe. I mean, I don't want to write off.
Sure.
Do you really like? I'll put it this way.
You're right.
The Lakers have lost to the Nuggets the last 2 playoffs, and kind of embarrassing. And they said like closest sweep in history and that sort of stuff. But it's like, I did watch the playoffs. You're not convincing me that Minnesota, like a bunch of these teams, were better than the Lakers. And you're not convincing me anyone other than Jokic and maybe Luka in the West were better than the playoff version of 39-year-old LeBron wanting to play. To your point, they might be a play-in team, but they're a play-in team no one wants to play. I'll tell you that much. They're a play-in team no one wants to play against when those 3 dudes lock in mentally.
And I mean, the thing is, if you have all 3 of those guys, you can really just go like so defense heavy on the rest of your roster.
Yeah.
Like offense is taken care of. Don't worry about it. Just make an open shot and be able to make a layup, which apparently is impossible for anybody.
Yeah, I was going to say, well,
I'm getting ahead of myself. But, I feel like they get it done, man. I feel like they'd win it all. Man, maybe that's just like the nostalgia in me, but wouldn't that be the most intimate? Like obviously the most massive target would be on their back, but I feel like all the young guys in the West for sure and the East would crumble seeing these 3 on a playoff floor. It's just way too much experience.
To your point, just surround them with goons. Just surround them with dudes who are like, I'm just going to play harder than you, and I know you're going to be terrified if it's a close game in the 4th quarter. I know you don't want to see LeBron coming down a fast break with KD on one side and Steph on the other. I know you want no part of that. This is like the hopium of all hopiums.
They're gonna run this podcast back a year from now, and it's gonna do it's. You know what the funniest part of this is too is kind of back to your point. I think Sam was mentioning this. The Lakers, they're actually playing the best basketball right now. And if KD had come back from that injury, and you watch the way LeBron playing against the Knicks, the hilarious part is I don't know, man. The Lakers, they might have been good enough to win a championship, but now it's like I don't. But like now it's like they definitely don't. But the next 10 years are taken care of. But then it goes back to this point in this picture right here. It's like is the story for LeBron that great in his last season if he has to share the spotlight with a player that's going to be better than him? With AD, who's better than him, AD's still not. It's still LeBron's show. Luka plays a style where it's like, I don't know, man. Like that spotlight is gonna be Luka.
Are you guys ready for LeBron to be standing in the corner while
exactly
Luka does a 15 dribble step back?
exactly?
It's such a weird mental image.
Especially when LeBron's trying to do it for the documentary, right? Like this isn't year 1 or year 2 LeBron in LA where it's like, yeah, they kind of suck, but it doesn't matter. Like this is the end. Like this is the end of the movie. You can't end it with him standing in the corner. You know what I mean? With Dalton Connect.
And that's why I think this has. So
God,
I don't think
sold me. You sold me.
I don't think it's. I don't think it's likely. Like it's definitely under 30%. It's under 20%. But it's an easy sell to these guys because their careers are so intertwined, right? Like everything about you cannot tell Steph Curry's career journey without talking about the other two. And you can say the same. You can't tell LeBron's story without Steph. You can't tell KD's story without Steph and LeBron. And that whole thing. I think the only move these guys have left to make is leaning into, we've done this for 20 years. We're 3 of the 10 best players of all time. And they are, to be clear. And this is kind of like, you know what? Let's have some fun with it at the end of the road here. We'll see what happens. Maybe we can pull off the impossible with like a 42-year-old and a 39-year-old and a 38-year-old. But if not, it's going to be something every basketball fan wants to watch. Like imagine being in DC or Charlotte or one of these cities and all 3 of these guys roll through on their retirement tour together. Like, yeah, you want to see it. You want to see it. Like everything you know about the NBA revolves around these 3 guys for the last 20 years.
I think LeBron is the one that spearheads that movie, by the way. To your point, like he's like I think Steph has probably been trying to recruit those guys for a while now. Like it wouldn't surprise me. KD's probably the guy that's just unhappy and he's just like whatever. So like
just going all over the place, you know, into it, but also like, but I have other options. Can't decide, you know.
I think LeBron wants it. I think it happens. I do. Yeah. Like as much as I hate to say, like if LeBron thinks like this, okay, I'm sold. Like this is the path, then I think it happens. I think he's in, Steph is in, and then they'll find a way to convince KD. Like that's, you know, I Sam, you might be cooking. You might be onto something.
This is the fucking Hopium Olympics. This is crazy. This is crazy.
I got nothing else to do right now. Like there's been so you know the Luka thing. Like I'm sorry, it's like it's been like dominating the last 24 hours. There's been no other rumors. There's been nothing. Like nothing's changed. It's like I saw some reports like Warriors still engaged on Levine, Butler, Vucevic. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Like, does Mike just like text him every 6 hours being like, sup? You know, like what is there to talk about that you didn't talk about yesterday? You know, it's like he's sending him like fucking Moses Moody's like vert, you know, like, hey guys, he's really increased his vert. He's now up to 32 inches or something like that. Like, I don't really know what any of that means. So that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I think if you end up with those 3 on the same team, they do end up winning a championship with 30 minutes of Guy Santos next to him. I would absolutely.
I'm not convinced Guy shouldn't be playing 30 minutes with this current roster.
You know where I stand on that. I am all in on Guy Santos. All in. Really good.
Guy Santos is like the number one reason they should make a trade is this roster is fatally flawed. But like the second or third reason is like Guy Santos, who didn't play all year, randomly gets thrown in there, and I'm sitting here going, like, there's no difference between him and like 90% of the dudes you play. So what do you fucking care about saving half these guys for?
Right. I want to say he's like +8 per 100 in his minutes this year. Like that's really, really good. And a lot of those minutes haven't even been with Steph because it came when like Steph was managing injuries and wasn't playing that much. So like, yeah, there's no reason not to see him. And like you said, that's all the more reason to make a trade. Like, who cares if you still have Slow-Mo? I love Slow-Mo, but like, you know, you got a younger guy who might be better than him right now because Slow-Mo's kind of old and kind of washed, honestly.
Before we get out of here, Andy, give me your free agent takes. What do we got here? What is this beyond? Like we just spent an hour of fucking hopium on the Expendables.
You mean trade deadline? You mean trade deadline?
Yeah,
right?
Sorry, trade deadline.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, scared me.
Honestly,
I don't got free agents
in the NBA.
Yeah,
But
that's
whatever.
facts. Here's what I think. I think they've got to find, and because the three-way look, if you're gonna tell me the LeBron KD stuff is happening, then I don't care. Trade it all. I do think they gotta find a way to get Zach LaVine without trading Andrew Wiggins, and I do think this team it gets really fun. If they trade him for a Jimmy Butler, I'm gonna sit here on Thursday and I'm gonna be happy. I don't care either way, as long as they trade for someone that truly matters and is a solid 2. But if that's not the case, I do think they've got to, and I know it's difficult. I know it's a three-way thing. You've got to trade all these role players. People don't really want these guys. But if you can find a way to trade all these role guys for Zach LaVine and keep Andrew Wiggins, so you have those 3 guys plus Draymond Green, that's my dream scenario come Thursday. Do I think they'll do it? It's funny.
We'll see.
That's funny. That's really funny. But I would love for that to happen.
I'm with Andy. I'm Team Zach, but I think they end up with Jimmy. That's the direction that it feels like it's trending.
Yeah.
So, and to be clear, I will not be mad if Jimmy Butler is on my basketball team in a week. Very good player still. And especially a motivated Jimmy Butler will be a very, very fun thing to see. And then Draymond and Jimmy in a playoff series facing off against other teams will be very, very fun to watch.
Facing off against each other.
They're gonna make you uncomfortable. They'll kill each other eventually, but it doesn't have to happen now. Yeah. I think more than anything, just thinking about it, they also need to make this trade to keep options open into the summer.
Mm-hmm.
We know Phoenix wants Jimmy. We know Phoenix is interested in this sort of stuff. It may work with the Warriors with Jimmy, it may not, but you want to have the opportunity to get in on it. You don't want to be the team. My takeaway from the Luka AD thing is don't fucking overthink it. Having a star is better than not having a star. It's that fucking simple. Picks are if you can guarantee the first pick in a draft where Wemby comes, that is more valuable than Jimmy Butler. But most of the time, they're just throw-ins. It doesn't really matter, right? So this team has probably got too cute with their roster construction and a little too much dunked on going on in the Warriors HQ. A little too much. Ooh, we got him. We got him at $7 million AAV. That's a value.
That's
Machine
actually
says
exactly
he's worth
what happened.
10.
It's actually exactly what happened with Buddy
he's
Hield.
worth 10.
Yeah.
It's exactly what happened. And
It's
he's
exactly
fine.
what
Whatever. You can move him on. And it is true. It's better to that than a bad contract. But then you just get a fucking star, change the calculus here, open the door. Even if Jimmy doesn't work out the way you want him to, there will be a taker. There'll be a taker for him. To your point, like LaVine, I'm a little more skeptical that it'll lead to wins. I have zero doubt he won't put up numbers that make him highly tradable on the Warriors.
Right.
So I'm cool. And like you guys, I'm cool either way. Like I want Jimmy more than LaVine. I'm not going to be mad if they get Zach LaVine. The only thing that will make me mad is if I have to get on here Thursday and discuss about how trades are hard.
Yep.
That's the only thing that will make me mad.
Yep.
Getting on here and be like, well, I understand Joe's position. If they're not going to make the playoffs, they might as well get out of the luxury tax.
That's not how we're going to talk.
That is not.
This is not 95-7 the game. You know what I mean? Like we're not doing the fucking Joe Lacob pays our bills type shit. Which hey, like I get it. I know those guys well. Right? We all do. But like this is the reason why we're an independent show that covers the fucking team objectively.
Yeah.
Make a fucking trade. Make a fucking do something. We've been asking for 3 years. 3 fucking years. They winning 55 games a season, it'd be nice. We wouldn't say shit. But you guys are
no one's complaining if they're winning 55.
45. Come on, man. KMBR is too busy talking about the Giants to talk about the Warriors. Come on, man. Love those guys too, but come on.
Pass. Anyway. All right. Let's get out of here. Appreciate both of you. Everyone have a good night. We'll be back.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.